First on the All-American watch list, we are on the Jerry Easter player file. And what we're trying to do here on the watch list is find those 7th and 8th graders, really 8th grade and below, that are making noise in the national media. We want to find and dictate and research a comprehensive analysis of all youth ranking services. So this will include a lot of them we'll go over today: Middle School Elite, National Youth Basketball Report, National Youth All-Americans, Buckeye Prep, NEO, and different showcases and awards and accolades that some of these players have garnered over time. So without further ado, we'll kick it over into the lounge. Like I said, I am Ed McCants. I will be your host and covering the individual player files and player spotlights, bringing you guys magazine dropping here, coming in the spring, just following these players that are trying to make some noise in the national media and maybe sneak a spot in the ESPN rankings. So first up is, probably heard a lot about Jerry Easter already. This kid has been garnering a lot of attention from a very, very young age from the Cleveland area. So this is Jerry as early as 4th grade, and I've done a lot of research on this kid. There are a lot of people agreeing that, even first seen the Buckeye Prep, covered by Middle School, MASH-TV. And as you see, he's completely putting in work, from a very, very young age. He looks strong, fast. He's been very, very tall, very, very long arms, good ball control, and most of all, good motor control. I think that's what some of these services we're seeing with this Jerry Easter kid from a very young age is very high basketball IQ. He has a knack for scoring the ball, and he has very good motor control. So moving forward with young Easter's progression, since that time, you probably have seen him as of late in 2018, made big splash at the Buckeye Prep. There, Rob Taylor does a magnificent job of bringing exposure to kids from all over Ohio. If you guys get to his events, we'll have some updates periodically through here of some of Ohio's top events, primarily the Buckeye Prep Hidden Gems Showcase and also the NEO Youth Elite at the top of my list. All Ohio has some other events more related to AAU, a couple of exposure events, but we'll discuss that as we get closer to those times. So as Buckeye Prep's covering, he was recently ranked the National Youth Report 2025 best player in the country, essentially. Been garnering attention, and at this point in 2018, the kid was standing at 5'10". We go over to National Youth All-Americans, and they also have Jerry as the number 1 ranked player in the class of 2025 with a 95 grade. Middle School Elite also agrees with pretty much consensus across the board as we assess and synthesize these rankings across the board from these youth services that cover and host events for kids and try to attract the best talent so they can evaluate. You don't always get the best talent at one place at one time. That would be impossible. And there's always your late bloomers, but right now, from the kids that get out here, trying to get their name out here, some of these guys have been on the circuit from a very, very young age. Jerry Easter is one of those guys who everyone is pretty much agreeing that is the consensus number 1 player in the country. So that's exciting for Ohio. Typically when we have players that are that highly touted, it rings bells of names such as LeBron James, OJ Mayo, etc. At this point, we're looking to see how much of an impact Jerry can make transitioning to the high school level as we get a little closer to that time. Coast to Coast Preps also ranks Jerry Easter number 1 in their rankings. We'll take a look a little bit of his. Now you see again, great motor control. Obviously is a lot bigger now than the 4th grade. That was nearly 4 or 5 years ago. Since that time. He has since been on the team, ran through and helped assembled by Middle School Elite, and they have some of the top players from around the country that surround Jerry Easter, and they really just get it in. It's one of the all-time winningest AAU basketball teams in history, and they're really starting to compare this team and the amount of talent they always have on the floor to some of the highly touted and skilled teams that eventually have a number of NBA guys, college guys, etc. So it'd be fun to see how they progress, how this team continues to, just continue to build upon the success that they've had, which I don't think is going to be very hard, judging by the caliber of guys and a consensus number one player on the team who doesn't want to play with Easter. He's unselfish. He's a good scorer, and also a pretty good defender. So always want to play next to a guy like that. And as you see, he's getting up close to that rim. Going to be definitely dunking soon. So, National Youth Basketball Report, they don't typically rank kids. However, they are rating him as a 5-star player. As I said, plays for MSC Super Friends 2025. Played most of his career in 2024. Now he is with Super Friends team trying to make their mark on 2025. So we will continue to watch Jerry Easter's development. And like I said, overall, even looking at his overall social media perception, kid seems like a very well-spoken, clean-cut kid. I haven't heard of any issues with teammates. Seems like a pretty easygoing guy that plays the game the right way. Kid keeps getting taller and taller. Obviously, I still think he has some time to grow. But that's pretty fascinating along his journey to see that he just continues to grow and get taller. As we knew from the 4th grade videos, he was extremely tall compared to kids his age, and it seems to still be the case now. Growing into his body a little bit, putting on some muscle. So I'm excited to see him being able to start dunking, finishing around the rim. I'm sure, and I've seen some videos of him getting up. He looks like he's about there. So look for Jerry Easter to start rising up on rims near you. Great stroke too, great range, great stroke. Like I said, his motor control is A+. So definitely excited to see him develop more as time goes, and hopefully we can get up with Jerry and maybe take him through a little Division I workout and better assess at an event. Maybe through a little workout, what Jerry has as a total package. Obviously, he's already garnering the attention and recognition of some Division I programs locally. Obviously, that spells a great recipe for a very bright future for him, whether it be going mid-major if he wants to stay local, play for a mid-major school. That's never a bad idea. Or he can decide that he wants to go the high major route to get those opportunities, and we will see, what happens with that as well. So I think kid's gonna have a bright future regardless. Definitely one of the top talents in his class. It's still very early, but a lot of people are saying the kid can flat out play. So I'm out of here.